Say hello to the Tab S10 Ultra, the biggest tablet I think you can buy in the US anyway. Massive tablet and a quiet refresh that I don't really know that anybody wanted. The Tab S9 Ultra is still a fantastic tablet, and it has the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, which a lot of people probably are more interested in than this with the Dimensity 9300 Plus, which no ding to MediaTek at all. The Dimensity 9300 Plus, very, very good chipset. All their 9000 series chipsets are very good. They're competitive. They're just not used in a lot of things. And I don't really know why Samsung decided to do this, but they did. Good, bad, or indifferent. And I mean, so far it's been fine. And well, anyway, let's get into it. Why did I call this a dishonest review? Well, one, I just get so sick of seeing honest review all the time. Honest review. I mean, maybe I've done it at one time in my life just, for clicks. But yeah, dishonest review, honest review. If you put honest review in the title, does that mean all your other videos are dishonest? I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. Maybe it does you too. Let me know in the comment section. Do you believe honest reviews when you see it in the title, or do you think it's just a gimmick? Not trying to ding anybody because people are in charge of their own channels. This is my channel, and I'm doing a dishonest review. But also, it is a little dishonest. Not on purpose, actually. When the tablets first came out, I was watching the video. I'm like, nah, I'm not really interested in this. And I made a video saying I'm not going to buy one. It was in the title, and well, I ended up buying one. But the reason I bought one is it's not for me. Like, I don't make videos for me. I make videos for you guys, so I feel like maybe it would be helpful, and I'd be doing you guys a disservice, especially if you're in the market to get one, because it is a pretty good sale right now. You can get it for $999 instead of the regular $11.99 MSRP. I've got an affiliate link in the description. You can check that out. It's on sale for the holidays. But this thing is massive. 14.6-inch screen. Like, what are you going to do with this, right? I mean, it's cool to play Boom Beach on it, but spec-wise, 11,200 milliamp battery, the Dimensity 9300 Plus. It starts at 12 gigs of RAM, goes up to 16, all the way up to a terabyte. You can get this sucker with a terabyte of storage. It's got dual cameras on the back, single camera on the front. It's actually got a under-the-screen fingerprint scanner, which is kind of interesting. It's optical. It's not ultrasonic, which is kind of weird because, well, all the flagship level phones that Samsung puts out have an ultrasonic, but it does have one new upgraded feature on the screen. It has the anti-reflective coating, which is actually helpful. I mean, I've got some lights up here, and you can see it kind of dulls it out a little bit. It doesn't take up and make the screen all shiny or anything, but I mean, ultimately, there's only so much anti-reflective you can do. But one thing that's nice is it does come with the S Pen. So in stark contrast to the iPads, which continually make you buy a new Apple Pencil with a new tablet every couple of years, this one, it works great. It comes with it. And I mean, that saves you basically like $100 if you're in the iPad camp. And it's got a nice convenient slot on the back that's marked for you to put it there. And I got to say, this thing is incredibly thin. It's thinner than a smartphone. And I guess whenever you make something this big, you can kind of spread the wealth around a little bit, make your components thinner but wider, and then maybe that's how they did this. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of awkward, honestly, because it's super tall. And whenever you're holding it, it's just a gigantic, really tall tablet. And the other thing that you can do is turn it sideways. When you turn it sideways, it does make sense. It has the pogo pins on the bottom right here. I don't have the keyboard, but one of the best winning points when it comes to these tablets is they have decks built in. Of course, you can do wired decks, wireless decks, just like your Z Fold, just like your S-Series phones. You get the desktop software. If you've never used one of these before, if you've never used decks, it's one of their best features that you can get because in addition to being like an Android tablet, Android phone, you can use it as basically as a computer. And it's really nice. And if you have the official Samsung keyboard, all you have to do is connect it. And when it touches those pogo pins, it puts it in DeX mode, and then the Samsung keyboard has a touchpad, all that stuff, and it works really well. If you want like a two-in-one, and you want a high-performing tablet, I mean, this is as good as it gets in the Android world. And of course, it's got LumaFusion and some other things. So one cool thing about actually the Tab S10 Ultra, S10 Plus, the Samsung Galaxy tablets in general, is you can do like video editing with them. You can do gaming. You can connect a USB controller, whether wirelessly through Bluetooth or with a cable, and nice lag-free input. You can play games, which is cool because you get like Xbox Game Pass, and you basically have a portable Xbox floating around with you that I mean, I guess portable. This isn't really all that portable. It's not really all that handheld. And one of the reasons I've always stuck with the smaller tablets, I like the 11-inch tablets. I even had a 12.9-inch iPad 2021, the Pro model with the M1 chip in it. And that sucker was massive too. I got rid of it and I got the M4 iPad with the 11-inch, and I'm much happier with it. And it pissed me off that they didn't make it 11-inch in this. So you can get, what is it, the 12.6 or something, 12 point something inch. I can't remember exactly the size. And then you get this big gigantic 14.6-inch tablet. Like, they go above and beyond, and it's fitting that they call it the Ultra because it's ultra big, ultra powerful, ultra even bigger than the iPad Pro that you can get from Apple. So if you want that, that's great. And if you want to use it not only as a tablet, but if you want to use it for media, entertainment, I mean, you've got multitasking and all that stuff, and you can multitask to your heart's desire on here. You get decks, and you can use it kind of like a super powerful laptop, but also as a super powerful tablet. So you get that two-in-one thing. So I highly recommend, if you're going to get one, get the keyboard with it from Samsung. It is definitely a good investment. Now, the sound on here is fantastic. You got Dolby Atmos, and you got this brilliant screen. Like, the screen's really nice on here, and it's 120 hertz, HDR10 plus, and I mean, it's really nice. Quad HD plus, something that you can really enjoy anything you do on here. And with a massive 11,000 milliamp battery, it lasts for a pretty good while too. So even though it's got, a very powerful chipset, you can run it for quite a long time. I mean, definitely get you all day usage. So a couple other things: 45-watt charging, that's pretty decent, gets you recharged fast enough. You have a 13 megapixel camera. You have two cameras on the front actually, and two on the back. On the back, you have the 13 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then you have the two 12 megapixel cameras on the front. And of course, they have the camera up at the top, which I keep touching the screen all over the place. The two cameras up at the top, and that's going to be great for your video conferencing, recording. If you want to do some live streaming, you want to do Skype, if anyone does that anymore, Zoom. So it is also located in a nice place, because typically, if you're going to be using it, if you've got it on the keyboard or using it with the keyboard, you're going to have it sideways anyway. So the orientation works out just fine, and it makes it nice, easy, high quality, and you can even shoot 4K video with this if you really want to. So if you want to be that guy or gal with the fanny pack at your kid's graduation, or walking around Niagara Falls to try and shoot some good content with your tablet, hey, you can do it with this. And of course, it's also nice because you can do all sorts of gaming on here too. If you want to play all the latest and greatest, you can play Fortnite on here. You can play Warzone. You can play Genshin Impact. I mean, anything to your heart's desire. I play Boom Beach on here, which is really cool. It's crazy how different things look on a giant 14.6-inch screen as opposed to when you have it on a phone, right? There's so much more detail. Everything looks so much larger than life. And it's a brilliant screen. I mean, it really is. Anti-reflective coating, 2x AMOLED, HDR 10 plus, which is really nice. And it's also got 120 hertz refresh rate, which is fantastic for this. And it's got Quad HD plus resolution, 16:10 aspect ratio. And it really does make for a great usage experience if you want something this gigantic. I find it pretty unwieldy, as is to say that it's very difficult to hold and use with two hands as you would a tablet. And you can see the bezels, that they're not the most gigantic in the world. I think they're fair size for a panel this size. It's nice and bright, plenty of brightness on here, so that way you can use it if you go outside, if you're inside. And that's one big thing with that anti-reflective coating. If you're doing some work outside, if you're sitting in the plane next to the window seat and the sun's coming in, it gives you a little bit extra advantage and a little bit extra protection for that stuff. And then you get the industry-leading Android stylus on here, the S Pen. And it's cool because you can also use the S Pen in many ways, like you can with, let's say, the former Note phones or the S series, the Ultras. And what's cool is you can hold the button down and it pulls up the camera, which is neat. And then you can double press it to flip the camera around. You can take a picture. You can start recording. And I gotta say, I did take a selfie with it. Ta-da! I mean, I know I'm not the greatest looking person in the world, but I feel pretty confident with it. And then, of course, you have the AI stuff. And AI is not original to this. Of course, you can do AI with the Tab S9 Ultra, which, of course, has the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2. A lot of people really like the Snapdragon stuff. I don't think the MediaTek chip in here is really like a huge downside, but it's just something that came out of left field. Most of us weren't expecting. I don't really think that it impacts the performance on it. These things are pretty well topped out already anyway. I mean, when you're running an 8-core processor, you got over a 3 gigahertz chip in here, you've got 12 gigs of RAM plus, and that's totally fine whenever it comes to, like, let's say using the AI stuff is kind of future proof. You need a minimum of 8 gigs, so you got plenty there. It has expandable storage, so I don't really advocate for buying the 1 terabyte because it's like $1,600. But if you want to buy this while it's on sale right now, $999, get the 256 storage. I keep turning this upside down. 256 storage, and then put an SD card in there. I mean, you're going to be pretty good that way. And SD cards are very, very affordable now. And it's also got plenty of microphones on here, quad speaker setup. Speakers are really good on here. Samsung, especially with the Dolby Atmos, they do a really, really good job when it comes to the speakers. So you've got that going for you. You got Bluetooth, and you even got Wi-Fi 7, so you can connect to the fastest, latest, and greatest connections. Great sound, decent charging, huge battery, plenty of power, and there's just nothing else like this out there on the market. I mean, if you go from an iPad, with the largest one being about 13 inches, this one still blows it out of the water by almost 2 whole inches. And one of the reasons it has a 16:10 aspect ratio, like I was saying, is because it makes a really nice laptop screen whenever you connect this to a keyboard. And I can't say that enough. Dex is so good on here. And just like it has been in previous iterations and other tablets, I love Dex on laptops or on tablets because it turns them into a laptop. I don't use Dex so much with, like, let's say my S24 Ultra. I don't use it so much with my Fold because I'm not doing a lot of stuff that I really need desktop level kind of software functionality. But I love it when it comes to these tablets. I've written papers on them before. I've edited a video with LumaFusion before, or Power Director. There's some other video editing softwares that you can get in the Play Store, and this thing's just decked out to the nines. And the other thing is it's lightweight. Like, it's super lightweight. My wife was crazy impressed with it. I walked in, and at first she's like, oh my gosh, that thing is massive. This is an incredibly huge tablet. But then I was like, here, hold the tablet and see how light it is. It's incredibly light. It's incredibly thin. And it gives you all the power and functionality that you could ever possibly ask for. And the S Pen coming with it is just a bonus. It's like saving an extra $100. And that's one thing I've always loved about Samsung tablets. The S Pen coming with it is clutch. And they're usually backward or forward compatible too, meaning like you could take this one, it should work with the S9 or vice versa, but you don't have to worry about that because it actually comes with it. That's one huge frustration that I have with the iPads. They came out with a new iPad mini and it's like, oh, you have to use the Apple Pencil Pro. You can't use the Apple Pencil Generation 2, but fundamentally it's the same stinking tablet as last time. Same dingy screen, same almost everything. They just copied their own homework, changed the ink, and resubmitted it, and put a new chip in it. So it really irks me when they meaninglessly charge you more money and make your Apple Pencil incompatible. So I think it's a great tablet. It's certainly not really for me. It's not something that I would normally go out and buy. I've ranted about this enough. I prefer the smaller tablet. I'm really angry they got rid of the 11-inch tablet. But this is something where if you really use a tablet a lot, I don't personally. I've got my iPad Pro 11-inch 2024, and I haven't turned it on in like 2 months. I seldom use these things because the Z Fold and other foldable phones have largely completely changed my landscape when it comes to what I use, because I'd rather have a smaller, like 7-8-inch tablet in my pocket I can carry around with me and use for a lot of things other than just this. I don't largely use a tablet as a laptop replacement. I carry a laptop with me because if I need a laptop, I'm usually doing things like video editing with Final Cut Pro, making my videos and stuff like that. So largely, I like having a foldable phone, or I like taking a gaming laptop with me in my bag. I'm not usually doing laptop stuff on a tablet, but this is the one for it, and it absolutely kills the iPad in that department. They nail multitasking. They nail the desktop experience. They've got a great keyboard. And one other thing I like doing with it is connecting a USB controller with the USB-C and playing games on it, because this big gigantic screen is beautiful and it's absolutely fun to play games on this big, massive, giant screen. Also multitasking too. Like as I've been using this the last week, I'll do stuff on split screen, picture in picture. I've got YouTube pulled up, and I'm using Twitter or X. I'm sorry now, or using some other apps at the same time, and it's really a pleasure. And I just can't understand how they made it so thin, and then they've also got an 11,200 milliamp battery inside of this thing, and it's so incredibly light. So that's pretty much all I got on my review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. Also, it has 7 years of support. That was one big thing. 7 years of updates, 7 years of security patches, One UI, and all that stuff works out really well. And I really do feel like this could last 7 years. I know I've been very skeptical about phones in the past and how long they'll actually last, but with the latest Snapdragon technology, with the latest media tech, with all this high-powered stuff, I know people still using tablets and phones from 5, 6, 7 years ago now, and those things comparatively are horrendous. All the new stuff that we're putting out, it will still be very, very good 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6, 7, and with an 11,000 milliamp battery, even if it has some battery degradation, like you're still going to be good to go. So that's all I got on my review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra, the biggest, most fantastic, crazy tablet you could possibly buy. And again, yeah, hopefully y'all found the title funny with my video. Of course, y'all know, or at least should know, that I'm pretty honest around here. But it really does irk me. Like, I hate when I'm scrolling through and looking at stuff, it's like, honest review. Okay, if you say honest review, if it's not on every video, then are we to imply that the other one's dishonest? Or if you're saying it's honest, then are you implying other people are dishonest and you're the honest one? I don't like it. So if any of my friends watch this and you're offended, I'm not trying to offend you, just having a hypothetical conversation here. It's just how I feel about things. But anyway, it's dishonest because also I said I wasn't going to get one, and I did. But things change, and like I said, it's not so much for me, it's for y'all. And now my kids will probably be the benefactors using this because this thing's way too big for me to actually use on a daily basis. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, any of that stuff, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.